For they do not believe in the gods of ancient Greece, but they cannot deny that others did. They do not believe in the hundreds of gods and goddesses that have been worshipped throughout the ages. The theists will say that these gods do not exist and did not exist, and thereby they must have been man-made.
Just believing in something, make it real. A man named Phil would chop wood to build an idol that represents his God. Did him kneel, and while praying to ask that the truth that's concealed be revealed. And this is why Bill be judging Phil, because his God ain't real. Bill says his God is Jesus, but that's a lie. His gods are his clothes, his gadgets, and the car he drives. True, I'm wrong, you're right. Seems to be the way us religious people walk and talk, and I do the same. They taught Genesis was a historical account until science started producing large amounts of undeniable facts. Men of faith will deny and say it's not literal, but still fact. Now parents in the board of ed have to battle over what should be taught.
And they'll say that intelligent design is not science.
What you want to know about an idea is whether or not it's true or false. Cambrian explosion is the event in the history of life in which the first complex forms of animal life arise very abruptly in the fossil record. And that argument is that the theory of intelligent design provides a better explanation for the origin of the information needed to build these Cambrian animals than any of the current materialistic evolutionary theories or models.
Disbelieving in someone make him real. Jade is praying to her God saying, let's make a deal. Magic is the answer she feels. Powerful on full moons, and when moons eclipse, she drifts off in her red Mitsubishi Eclipse. There's no doubt that the God she prays to exists. Scientists walk by faith. What they see as truth compared to religion is just as unbelievable. They dedicate their lives to a theory and then find out they're wrong and can't get the lost time back. What if Einstein was wrong, or the Big Bang and how it began would be most refused to understand? Is we're all slaves eating crumbs from the master's hand. Every teacher is a liar at the end of the night. We are all wrong. We are all right. We do and don't know so much. Let's consider this concept. We're all honest liars, intelligent idiots.
Recent finding of a gigantic quasar cluster. It actually shatters the long-held theory of the Big Bang, because of course there is no alternative to the Big Bang theory according to conventional science.
If that's how you're going to invoke God, if God is the mystery of the universe, these mysteries, which we're tackling these mysteries one by one.
Just refusing to believe, not make it real. Jill walks out the church because she can't deal with the lies and games and miseducation. People need something to believe in. The desperations are taken advantage of. She jumped in her Volvo thinking about the God-shaped hole. As she drove home, every decision that we make is based on religion, is based on faith. She goes home, feeds the cat and dog, just on the television, hella visions. There's a man talking on religions. Or say there's something wrong with humans and their methods of fixing this problem is different. They all promise to provide what man needs and more. So how do I know if I'm following truth or not? Some look to science and some seek the divine. It's natural for humans to ask why, to ask what, to ask how, to ask where, to ask who. Alex believes in grays and reptilians and says mankind was created by aliens. When men of faith try to state that, he's insane. He'll ask, where are the angels and devils you claim to walk the earth? But we can't see them. Both believe these beings leave men, giving us technology or some type of power. The God of the gaps will foolishly bow to later on find that we're wrong and make more excuses, using any scientific truth to prove this or that, but it never proves anything. Do we change our minds or walk by faith? Because we're all following the truth and a lie, drinking Kool-Aid.
The problem arises is if you have a religious philosophy that is not based in objective realities, that you then want to put in the science classroom. So what happened was, when science discovers things and you want to stay religious, or you want to continue to believe that the Bible is unerring, what you would do is, you would say, well, let me go back to the Bible and reinterpret it. Then you'd say things like, oh, they didn't really mean that literally, they meant that figuratively. If you're going to stay religious at the end of the conversation, God has to be more to you than just where science has yet to tread. So to the person who says, maybe dark matter is God, if the only reason why you're saying it's because it's a mystery,